Do you know what I realised the other day? It wasn't a realisation I was proud of. We all look really fucking like Casper's uncles.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Stinky, obviously me.
Yeah.
Fatso.
Yay!
We all look so like Casper's uncles.
I want a Photoshop of that. Can anyone do Photoshop in this room?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Why'd you say that like it's such a... You were so insulted. I've insulted him and I've insulted you.
I'm like, the thing is, I rewatched Casper fairly recently, and I think I've said this to you before, but Casper was clearly a piece of shit kid.
Yes.
Yeah, because he called his uncles Fatso, Stinky, and Stretch. And
Yeah.
I don't think they like those names because they're not good names.
No.
But Casper's such a rich kid little shit that on the beds that he made them sleep in the same room, because remember when little Christina Ricci finds the 3 beds, they're all in the like a row next to each other, and their names are carved into the bottoms of the bed. So Casper was clearly like, look, fuckers, this is my house now.
And he carves the names in.
You're Fatso, you're Stinky, and you're Stretch. I'll hear fucking none of it.
I don't hear another word from any of you pricks.
So for any listeners who don't know what we look like, we look
Imagine
like Casper's uncles.
Fatso, Stretch, and Stinky.
Does that mean Audio Boy's Casper?
Yeah.
I guess so.
That
He
is
is a rich
true.
little prick.
Little-
Shit, I didn't think of that.
Little leukemia dying fuckhead.
Oh yeah, I guess. Like, I don't know. You do the introduction. You keep doing your thing.
It's Meandering Movies, listening to Gary, Ryan, and Gavin. It's all about films, but goes off course. Will there be arguments? Of course, 'cause everyone knows their lives are dull and they have nothing else to talk about.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Meandering Movie Podcast, where we talk about movies and everything else under the sun. Normally, we try and keep it within the realms of TV.
We've been better recently.
We think we've been better recently.
I think we have.
We haven't.
Oh, okay.
We keep talking about the Muppets for fucking ages.
This is true. Gary keeps bringing up the Muppets.
Do you know what I watched over the Christmas break?
Muppets Christmas Carol.
Muppets Christmas Carol, one of the best Christmas movies. We
No,
can
it's
all agree that, right?
Predator.
Yeah, but it's not a Christmas movie. It's a movie you watch at Christmas.
We've done this.
There's a difference. It's a good Christmas film.
I sellotape a Christmas tree to the screen, and sometimes
anyone
it
is
matches up
interested
with scenes, so it looks like there's a Christmas tree in them.
In this
so
conversation, there's an episode on it. Just go back. Scroll down. It's
I
like
don't-
3 episodes ago.
But I
It's
don't-
titled Christmas. We released it near Christmas. We talk about Christmas. And now it's after Christmas. We're going to fucking stop.
I mean, yeah, I don't know when this episode will be going out, but it's a new year.
Well, it's definitely going out after Christmas, Gav.
Well, no,
It's
because
definitely going out after Christmas.
it's now. There's now what?
This is the pre-Christmas hype, Ryan.
We're going to release this the 17th of December 2020.
But yeah, this is season 2.
This is season 2 of the Meandering Movie Podcast.
Season 2.
Season 2, episode 1, or season 2, episode 53.
I haven't
We figured
decided
that out
yet.
yet.
Still in the mix. We did ask Philip to do a new intro for this, so if there is a new intro, thank you very much, Audio Boy. If there's not, fucking start pulling your weight, I guess.
Oh, you went in. I wouldn't even think about going in on him. He's in, like, that's like just challenging God. You don't do it.
It's too late. I'm in.
He's going to smite
It's a new
you.
year. I'm taking the cantankerous.
Or you're going to be like the
I'm
cantankerous
taking the
old-
cantankerous grumpy role this year. Ryan, you can be aloof and fun like I was, and Gav, I don't know what you want to do.
You just do what you did before.
We'll both be
It
cantankerous.
seemed to work.
We'll both be cantankerous grumpy fucks.
No, you can't be a cantankerous grumpy fuck.
too
then,
late.
Then we have nothing.
Look at my face now.
Okay, you have to be like goofy and aloof.
And yeah, we wanted to start off this new season, new year,
With introducing our names.
with introducing our name. Well, I was going to do the episode first, you ding dong.
Like stepping on your intro.
We wanted to start off with, as we talked about at the end of a couple of episodes last year, at the end of season 1, we wanted to talk about the best films, considering this is the end of a decade. This is the end of a decade. 2021 is the beginning of a new decade.
Yes.
Technically. It's the end of a decade. We want to talk about the best movies of the last 10
Oh, well, shouldn't we do this episode at the end of the year then?
years. No, because like
I'm joking.
I know.
I mean, let's be honest. What's going to come out this year that's going to be...
Ooh, what is on the docket? There's nothing. Jojo Rabbit.
which is I've
Which
seen.
technically came out last year as well, right?
No, it released
Yeah, released in America last
January
year.
1st in the UK, and America doesn't count. So
I'd class it as a 19 release, personally.
Ask Iran.
I have seen Jojo Rabbit, and my quick review would be, it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I've heard. I've also heard that it's meant to be phenomenal.
I went in just being like, oh, this will just be like a fun kind of like political satire. It's so much more than that. It's insane.
I got that from the trailer, though. I remember seeing the first trailer, I saw the proper one, and I always thought the same thing. And even during the trailer, there's some real
good stuff.
And because
real
I'm
good stuff, heartening
apparently now
moments.
just a man who's an emotional wreck, gotta be tear out of me.
Aww.
Gotta be tear out of me.
Oh, Gabby. But yeah,
You
we're
see
gonna
the
be
boy
talking-
who's in Jojo Rabbit with the glasses?
Yeah.
He's not Jojo Rabbit, the other boy. He's the new Kevin McAllister.
Oh,
Is he?
what, in the new Home Alone?
Well, he's not Kevin McAllister, but he's the new Home Alone kid.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's fucking brilliant in the film,
Is
so
he?
I'm on board for that.
Sweet. But that's not what we're talking about. We are going to be talking about our favourite films of the last decade. We're going to be doing an episode each. I think this week we're going to be doing mine.
We're going to start off
Start off with mine. Start off on a high note.
Start off weak
Yeah.
and then build to the list everyone wants to hear of movies they've never heard of.
We're going to release one episode a week. So when you're listening to this is Gary's week, and then you can get hyped for the week after, and then so that gives you 2 weeks to find something
2 weeks
else
are
to
good.
listen to for the last Thursday when we release Gavin's episode. So there's lots of other podcasts out there. Spotify's really great because it recommends other stuff for you. So you've got 2 weeks to find something else to listen to on a Thursday instead of Gavin talking shit about films made in Central Europe.
We're keeping the best for last.
What a little fun story before we do our introductions. Right before this started, Gavin was like, yeah, I wrote my 10 list down, and then I had to make sure there were no double directors. And I was like, why? He's like, well, I didn't want to, 2 directors back to back. And I was like, but were they your 10 favourite films? Well, yeah, they were, and in the end it worked out. I didn't have to change any directors. What the fucking... Just do your favourite 10 films.
And I've done that. All right.
I also, again, and this is more a slight on me, have done as little preparation for this as possible. We were talking about it, and you guys were like, yeah, the year that this film released was directed by this. Have you got any multiple directors? And I was like, I thought of the films I liked the last 10 years, and I wrote them down.
And because apparently I'm the only person who cares about this podcast, I sat up for like an hour last night, just fucking like churning through just all these, like all the movies and trying to work it out. So when it comes to mine, it's going to be a list that's just peak.
I'm starting to think I
Peak
should have
shit.
done mine in year order. I should have done that. Do you reckon I could do this off the top of my head? Right, anyway, wait, before I try and figure that one out. So yeah, hello, welcome to season 2. I am your main host, Gary Copeland, to my right.
I am the love
2 weeks,
machine.
3 weeks to think of something, and you're just now coming up with something.
Sometimes I think it's better just to go improv.
And you went with the Love Machine.
I'm just a love machine.
Tom Jones.
That was not the tune for that song.
That wasn't the tune. I definitely didn't say the correct artist.
I'm just a love machine, Gavin Stewart. I'm just a love machine, Gavin
And sitting
Stewart.
straight across from me.
Will be the last appearance ever of Skills.
Yay, he's accepted it.
Good to have you back, Skittles. So yeah, how do you want to do this? Want to just go? Do you want to just
It's
fire
your
in?
list. You're in charge. Your episode. You do
My
what you want to
episode.
do.
Whoa.
How easy did you find this? Was it quite a challenge or? Pretty simple.
I started this off, and I thought I was going to.
I thought you were going to say I started this afternoon.
Yeah,
You did.
pretty much an hour ago. No. I in fairness, I was thinking about it over the Christmas holiday. I think there was like 3 or 4
While you were
films.
ballooning yourself up, apparently.
How big do I look?
You look exactly this. Well, you look
Sharp stretch.
I look chubby. It's okay. I think I had about 4 of these, maybe 4 or 5 of these in my head. Is like, these are the films I'm definitely going to talk about, and then I had to go and look for the other 5.
Okay.
And I had it
6.
fairly easily. Yeah, 4, 5 or 6, whatever it was. I had it fairly easy because mine aren't, weird obscure movies. I'm quite easygoing, which isn't a bad thing. But I could just kind of Google films of 2010, scroll through the top hits, and usually I was like, oh yeah, that was my favorite
I
film of
loved
that
Bolt
year.
by Disney.
Inside Out. I didn't do Inside Out. I was tempted to piss you off, but I didn't do it.
That would actually have pissed me off too. I hate that film.
But I don't know what order to do these in. I think I'm going to do these reverse order that I've written them, which means it was the ones that I thought about the most will be last.
Okay.
So I'm starting with the ones that I've kind of done recently. These are in no particular order, so this isn't top 10, but this is number 10 up to number 1. But I would say the top 4 are probably my my top faves.
Your pinnacle films.
That's kind of the way I've done it as well. I don't have a definite.
This isn't
list.
a list. Yeah.
But I've probably got 5-6 films I really liked, and 4 films that I really, really, really liked.
Yeah, so I think that's where I'm sitting. So film number 10 for me, and this was one that I did I had a couple floating around on the bottom like slot here, and I thought I'd go for this one purely because it was different genre from everything else I've got, and it's The Conjuring, which I don't know if you actually did go and bother watching.
Still not had a chance. It was on Prime for a time, and now it's gone off.
I know,
Prime.
right? Because I was going to rewatch it over the Christmas. Because that's what during my Christmas break, what I love to do is just watch horror films.
Yeah.
Shitty ones, great ones. I don't know. It's giving myself a Christmas spook.
This is like the third time you brought up The Conjuring to me.
Well, Halloween has just gone. we did a Halloween like spooky episode.
But what I'm learning from this is maybe I should just pay the money and watch The fucking Conjuring, because I just need to understand. But then, do you want me to watch The Conjuring?
I think I'm honestly quite comfortable with my list. I feel like this is a list that I don't think even you are going to have much to gripe with.
We'll find something. And then when we get to Ryan's, it's going to be even better. He's going to have How to Train Your Dragon 1, 2, and 3.
Well, only 2 and 3. I think 1 came out.
1 came out pre-2010.
Oh, that's a shame.
That is a shame.
But when it comes to The Conjuring,
we have spoke about it before.
yeah. But between Ryan and I, who would you more prefer watch the film?
You don't like horror films, do you?
I don't mind.
You don't mind?
I stated that I didn't watch many. It's not something that ever comes onto my radar. But
So
I don't mind.
I think his that's a good question actually, because I think the difference with The Conjuring from like the horror films that I know you do like, things like The Witch, The Babadook, this isn't quite as thought provoking and visceral and kind of like subtle and Midsummer, Hereditary, that kind of style. It is way more of a classic. We want to give you jump frights, but also effectively, I would say it's like what The Exorcist did back in the 60s.
Sure.
At the time, terrified people. Bunch of jump frights, but still sent people home and quivering and like, holy fucking shit. Like, I can't believe, you know what I mean? Like, I can't believe that's real almost.
I mean,
and the first time I watched Conjuring, that was it for me. I was like, that was fucking brilliant. Like,
James Wan is a director who I like, and I like his style, and I like the way he approaches horror. Mm-hmm. I'm just now worried that he's doing Aquaman and we're going to lose that because
not too big.
Because he did that one section in Aquaman which was like them in a wee boat and then like all the lizard monsters come up.
Yeah.
Well, this is the best bit of the movie because he's being a horror director.
Very horror
yeah.
bit, yeah.
And like visually looked brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope we don't lose that to DC's maybe worst film ever made, and that's saying something because Justice League exists.
I had a conversation with someone over the break where they said Aquaman was one of their favorite films that in the whole superhero sphere.
What? Not even just DC, everything.
No, everything, and I was like,
wow,
cool.
I don't want to be your friend
like,
anymore.
Well, yeah, but I'm not like you. I'm very much like I will let people have their opinions. I feel like us three here are the ones where I'm like, no, fuck you, you're wrong. Everyone else, I kind of try and let people just enjoy what they
live
enjoy.
And let live.
Yeah. So I was just like, good on you, man. And then went away and was like, fucking idiot.
I just want to remind everyone that there's a moment in Aquaman when he and the other woman walk out. He and the woman Mira. Is that her name? Walk out of the sea and a Pitbull song starts playing.
It was good.
And they walk in slow motion. That's the worst thing you can ever do in your movie. That's what Fast and Furious do. That's what fucking, I'm assuming, Bad Boys for Life is going to do, where they have slow motion Pitbull moments.
I'm so excited for Bad Boys for Life.
No, you're not.
Oh, I am.
It's a Michael... Look at Six Underground. Do you want to sit through more of that?
I just really love Bad Boys 1 and 2.
Doesn't your dad love them as well?
Yeah. I like the...
And that's why I love them.
I can stomach the first one, but the second one is one of the most...
The second one is one of the best sequels ever.
It's one of the most disgusting films I've had the displeasure looking at.
I think I've seen Bad Boys 1. I remember never being that in, like... I always liked Bulletproof more, starring one of the Wayne brothers and Adam Sandler.
I don't even know. I thought it was maybe a Bulletproof Monk.
No, we had I remember it was at school when I was in England, and like, we had like the one video that the teacher was like, look, we're going to let you watch this one even though it's a 15 or
Go tell your mum.
I think it was a 12. They're not even that bad, but I'm pretty sure Bulletproof was an 18. But it was a double VHS, and everyone was like, Bad Boys, and I was the only one that was always like, no, I'm going to watch Bulletproof. Fuck you guys.
Oh, so when you were young, you were me.
Yeah, I was trying to be cool and edgy.
Okay.
No, I just preferred it. Damon, it was one of the Wayne brothers. I don't know which one. I'm saying that. It might not be a Wayne brother. Wait. Wait. I'm going to have to edit myself out. But he gets shot in the head by Adam Sandler, but Adam Sandler doesn't mean to shoot him in the head. He's an undercover cop, and it's an accident. And
I've never seen this. Have you ever seen this film? No.
There's a very funny sex scene with a waterbed. I'll say no more.
I was too busy watching Bad Boys over and over.
This is true. You're watching Bad Boys. You're one of those just generic people that Gary didn't like because you were watching the big popular films.
Oh my god, it's got an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
8.
It is Damon Wayans. I was right. Sweet. So yeah. Anyway, The Conjuring.
I was going to ask when it comes to The Conjuring. Obviously, this decade has had some outstanding horror films. Do you have any more horror films on your list, or The Conjuring, without spoiling what the films may be, just genre-wise?
So I don't have any more horror films on my list.
Because Gary did specifically say, as the only horror film on my list, I would like to talk about
did you say that
The
bit?
Conjuring.
I missed that bit. I was thinking inside my head, like, he's about to say a film, and I can't wait to see what these films are going to. I'm just genuinely excited to see what your lists are going to be.
No, I think I didn't actually put a couple of. There was a few floating around. I didn't put them in because I was like, I don't want to put things that I think everyone else is going to talk about. The other thing I will say, and this will come up now, because so film number 9. This is the other thing I did notice. There's quite a lot of sci-fi in my list.
You do love sci-fi.
I really fucking love sci-fi.
I can't wait to see where High Life appears on that list.
Oh, number 1. Yeah.
Number 1.
Ruin the surprise, why don't you?
It's such a great film.
But number 9 for me was Looper.
Okay.
Directed by Rian Johnson of Last Jedi fame.
It's and I only found that out recently. I didn't even know about that. It wasn't until I rewatched Looper and it came up, and I was like, holy fuck, that's sweet.
I just couldn't enjoy Looper because I'm like, why does Joseph Gordon-Levitt just look so weird?
It's because he's got blue eyes.
It's because they try to make him look like Bruce Willis, but I'm like...
But then when you go back and watch that film, Joseph Gordon-Levitt took so much time to just pick up the mannerisms of Bruce Willis that there's the first time they have a scene together where they're sitting in a diner across from each other, it's generally like they're mirroring one another, and it's insane. Like
it's one of those films that I've watched time and time and time again, and it very early on says, don't think too much about this. If you do, it won't be fun.
Because it's time travel and you can't...
It basically comes out and says, like, just fucking enjoy it for the ride. And then as long as you watch it for that, it's a fucking great ride, like start to finish.
I think the thing I love the most about Looper is it has such its own kind of like visual voice. Or just like the way things look like in the future, and just like the technology and just the way people are.
It's
like,
that nice area as well where it's sci-fi that's not too far in the future.
Yeah,
I really like that that little breed of sci-fi which is maybe 20 years in. So he's got a motorbike. It's a hover bike, but it's actually a piece of shit and it doesn't run properly, so it's easier to just drive a regular car. They've hit this point where it's like, we should have flying cars. Sweet, get all the scientists working on that. This technology is terrible.
Unless you're super rich.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Fucking churn it out anyway. We'll make millions. I really like. And then there's the whole thing with the PK stuff, and it's like no one gives a fuck because it's just super lame. I don't know. I really like the whole kind of ethos.
I also
that
like
universe.
the kind of way the story plays out with the kid and everything.
Yeah,
and that actor who, like the kid actor, is fucking brilliant in the film.
He's great in that movie.
He steals quite a few scenes. He's just like...
It's when he comes downstairs and he sees Joe behind the seat and the bad guy's in, and he looks at the bad guy, like proper side-eyes him, and then makes like a gun motion. He's like, you going to do that? And Joe's like, no, fuck off, go back upstairs. And the kid's like, all right, whatever. But it's like, it's so perfectly natural.
Yeah,
it's so weirdly good.
A kid would kind of act.
Yeah, no, it's a great film. And then Emily Blunt, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, it's fucking stellar cast. Bruce Willis, Jeff Daniels.
When Bruce Willis tried.
Paul Dano?
Sure.
Is it him? Yeah. Is that his name?
Paul Dano, yeah.
Paul Dano, he's in it. He fucking gets mutilated. It's just good. It's just a good film. Go watch Looper. Like, I don't want to say too much more. And this is this weird thing. These are my best films of the decade. So I'm kind of trying to do these, without using the spoiler klaxon, because these are my favorite films. I would rather you just go and watch them, and I don't want to
even
spoil
if I did use a spoiler klaxon or not, people will never know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to my film. So it's like...
So I'd say Looper, it's phenomenal. It's a time travel sci-fi.
Also, just like that shotgun just looks so... I just like the design of like just... The art department did such a good job in that movie.
Everything.
That shotgun just looks cool.
So number 8 is probably the this is probably the wankiest one I have.
Oh God, it's going to be like Avengers Infinity War.
No, this like I'm being genuine. This is the kind of wanky film that you would. I'm surprised you didn't come to me and say you have to watch this, Gary.
I'm excited.
Number 8 is The Phantom Thread.
Really?
Phantom Thread made it onto my list. I don't know if we talked about this on mic. I can't remember. Have you seen Phantom Thread? Yeah. Phantom Thread is a film
Paul Thomas Anderson
with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yes.
I watched that
His
film.
last ever acting role.
The story behind this, for anyone that hasn't heard this, and apologies if you have, my friend was like, yeah, I'm going to go see this film tomorrow. You shouldn't come, Gary. It's not your cup of tea. And I was like, fuck you. I'll come see that film. And we went and seen it. And I sat for 2 hours almost. Because it's, 2 and a bit hours?
Yeah.
It's a long
Just
movie.
over 2.
I sat for the entire film. And I went, I'm going to have to fucking eat humble pie here. I'm going to have to come out and say, look, not my cup of tea. It's a weird film. It's period drama. Like, I didn't get the fucking woman. What? Daniel Day-Lewis is good, but I just didn't get it. And then what happens in the last 3 minutes of that whole film, I went, oh, holy fuck, that is a genuine masterpiece. And it's such a weird experience. Like watching 2 hours of something and thinking, this isn't my cup of tea. Like I can appreciate everything, but it's just not, it's just not quite tickling me. And then for it all to just pow come together.
A true homage to staying in your seat until the credits start.
Absolutely. Because if I'd left, I would have been like, yeah.
And you never would have rewatched it.
Never. And it's that is how I preface when I tell people to watch that film. I'm like, I don't want to say nothing. Go watch it. You have to see it through to the end, though, because if you don't, the film. And it's weird that it's made my top list because it's one of these things I'd normally argue. Like, if a film's not gripping for 2 hours, it's not doing its job right.
Yeah.
But it's the one film that I feel like I'd give the pass on, which it just. Because I think if I rewatched it now, I'd enjoy the rest of the film infinitely more. Do you know what I mean? It's weird that I haven't actually gone back and sat through it again, but I need to give it a second watch because I think now that I have all the information, the rest of the film's going to be like a whole different film on second viewing. But yeah, no, Phantom Thread, loved it.
Paul Thomas Anderson is one of my favorite directors. So walking into the Phantom Thread,
it is so good to have you here. It's like having IMDb open all the time.
We'd like listeners to know that Gavin doesn't Google any of this.
Gavin's not sitting on his phone at all.
He just knows.
I'm just listening and enjoying hearing you gush about an actually masterpiece of a film.
Right.
Because I walked into that being like, it's a new P.T. Anderson film. I can't fucking wait. Give it to me. I'm watching it. I'm just gorging on it. It's brilliant. And then it gets to the end of the film and that moment happens and I just went, oh wow, this man's a genius because he's contextually changed my entire outlook of this film that I now immediately have to go back and watch it. So literally the next day I just booked another viewing, went back in knowing now where everything. The film goes. Just been like, just seeing it.
Am I
with
right?
That whole new vision.
It's a whole new film.
It's just kind of like, it's like a magic trick almost. It's insane the way he does it.
You want to like rewatch it to see if you can catch it.
Yeah. And you're just like, oh, see what he's doing. That plays into that. And it's like, and it's so fucking good, and it's so beautiful. The movie, it's just astonishing.
I think that was what that's why I decided I have to sit through this because like Daniel Day-Lewis is doing he's being Daniel Day-Lewis. Like you can't, has that man ever done wrong? And it looks great.
I mean, Lincoln was about
yeah. Didn't he spend like 27 years preparing for that role or something stupid?
Something.
Do you remember that?
It wasn't worth it, whatever he did.
Somebody came to him. I don't know if you know this story. You know this? Oh. Somebody came. The director came to us like, we should do a Lincoln movie, and Daniel Day-Lewis was like, look,
the director being Steven Spielberg.
Was it Spielberg?
Yes.
Fucking hell, I did not know that. But Lewis was like, I'll do the movie, but you need to give me like 10 years to prepare for it. And then spent 10 years like researching Lincoln and reading up every morsel of information he could find so that he could portray him in the best possible light.
I think he was only able to find one kind of usable sound clip of maybe what Lincoln sounded like.
Maybe what he sounded
and he's
like.
just kind of built his entire kind of voice out of that.
I feel like I know what Lincoln sounds like.
7 years ago, I will abolish slavery.
What was that one?
No, it's pretty southern.
What was the one that came out around the same, where he was a vampire hunter?
Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
God. Yeah. You literally just said, what was the film Abraham Lincoln was in where he was a vampire hunter?
Okay, my IMDb isn't always that good. Like,
so yeah, Phantom Thread, another film. It's a long one. If you're not into long films, it can be a daunting task, but it is like Ryan says, well worth sitting through.
Phantom Thread was the year where the Best Picture nominations for the Oscars was like one of the best I've seen in years. Where it was like Phantom Thread and Call Me by Your Name and Dunkirk and Lady Bird and Guillermo del Toro's one.
Oh, Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. Just like, it was amazing that year of films. And I was like, this isn't fair. Like, usually it's an easy, like last year was really easy, where it's like, there's a whole lot of shit and then there's Roma. But then like that year, just like, it's a whole lot of masterpieces. I'm like, fuck. Phantom Thread is one of those masterpieces.
Phantom Thread is 100%. So yeah, so the next film on my list is probably one that you're gonna. This is the Here Comes the Groaner. Had to be one. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh god,
man! It came out in 2000. It came out at a time where I was like hardcore, like into my video game. No, 2010. Sorry, I was like had nothing else doing. I was playing games. It's a fucking good, fun movie. Like it's the video game movie that leans into the fact it's a video game movie. Unlike what we were just talking about off mic about John Wick being the best video game movie. It does what it does. It looks great. It's a fun story, and it's just got some solidly good jokes in it that I just really like it. And it's one of these. This is kind of proof and parcel. Like if I had numbered these, I would have put Phantom Thread higher than Scott Pilgrim. But these are in no order. Like it's kind of just a bit of a mess down there. But I
kind of like that you've hyped Gavin up with Phantom Thread and then hit him with Scott Pilgrim.
I know. I was just like, here we go.
Oh my god, I've told Gary so well. But it's just good fun. It's Michael Cera at his peak. Because what has he done since then?
Is that Michael Cera's only good film?
I'd probably. What else has he done? He was in Juno, but that wasn't really his movie.
Super bad. Which I rewatched at Christmas.
There was one he did. I can't remember the name of the film. It was like a psychological horror where he played like this kind of off-kilter guy, and like his stepsister come stay with him or something, and he can like falls in love with her. It's really fucking weird. He's
okay. I'm not Gavin, so I am now googling.
He's decent in that.
His best role though is in This Is the End. Is it This Is the End?
Yes.
Where he's just playing a coked up asshole for the entire first.
He's playing Michael Cera.
Or
he's playing Jonah Hill. We're not sure which one he's playing.
Molly's Game? Is that what that film's called?
No, Molly's
that's
Game
the
was
one
that
with
Netflix one with Richard Gere, wasn't it?
No, Molly's Game's the one with Jessica Chastain.
Oh shit! Sorry, what am I thinking of? What's the one I'm thinking of? The one on Netflix where she cuts her hand skin off to escape. Gerald's Game.
Somebody's Game.
Somebody plays a game at some
Scott
point.
Pilgrim versus the World is about video games. It all comes full circle.
Here's where I stand with Scott Pilgrim.
I'm not
versus the
sure
World.
you haven't made up this Michael Cera film.
I'll finger it in a sec. Here's where,
Finger it in a sec.
I'll do something. Guys, again, I'm lonely. I'm not actually that lonely.
That's really good to hear. On mic as well.
With
Well
Scott
done,
Pilgrim
Gav.
versus the World.
Mm-hmm.
I'm growing. I'm changing.
I can tell you're not screaming at me about my film choice.
Not
I
yet.
said I was gonna be better. After that whole book smart thing, I thought, Gavin, be better.
Gavin wagged his finger when he said it. Let you all to know.
Like an old timey man.
I can absolutely appreciate Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah.
It is brilliantly edited. It looks brilliant. It feels like a video game movie. All of the actors are cast so brilliantly.
Yeah.
Brie Larson is in that.
What?
She is.
That's so
Also,
so crazy. to think
Brendan
about.
Routh, who played Superman.
Yep. It's
Macaulay
the amount
Culkin's
of people
brother.
that are in there. Yeah, he's the best
Chris
character in that
Evans.
film as well. Chris Evans is also very good.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who
Great.
made every teen geek guy just fall in love with her immediately. It's like, oh, she's the girl I want.
She's got crazy coloured hair. She's so unique.
I think. And the first time I watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I'm like, well, this is fucking joyous.
Yeah.
I love this. But I'm now at the point where I'm tired of Edgar Wright's style of directing. Because his style of directing hasn't evolved since he started. It's the same thing every film. And that's why I was never a fan of Baby Driver, because I'm just like, this is more of the same from you.
Yeah.
But because you don't have the writing partner of Simon Pegg anymore, there's no heart to it.
Yeah.
It's a very hollow film, Baby Driver. And Scott Pilgrim's not a hollow film. It's got a great love story. But when I go back to it now, I'm just like, oh, it's just the same things you do all the time, and I just don't care anymore. And it's like, like he's doing a horror film next.
Oh,
This is
really?
his next one, so I'm like, I don't know how his style's going to work
Yeah,
in
we'll
horror,
see
but
how
I'm
it
excited
plays
to
out.
see what he's going to do. So,
Ryan? Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah. I think it's a film I watched and enjoyed and thought probably have never thought about it since.
No, I'd say it's one of my ones I put on every now and then because it's a visual smorgasbord as well. Like,
it really
looks
is.
so good.
It
does look
like
cool.
the big dragons and stuff. And
Yeah, the music bit, like it's one of those ones I just love sticking on and just kind of
also the soundtrack,
great.
top notch. That fucking song that Brie Larson does, real good song.
Hello again, friend of a friend. It's good. It's good.
Also, it has a vegan in it.
it also has a vegan in it. He has superpowers, and I was lied to. I'm still fat. Still can't do any super shit.
Here's a question I have for you as a vegan.
But your nephew Casper.
Are you insulted by people doing veganuary like it's some sort of just fun, like, oh, let's just try it out and see what it's like?
No, I think it's good. It means all the places I like. Reason one why I'm fat, all the places that I like to eat are like, oh, veganuary is getting bigger and bigger. Let's release a fucking KFC burger.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, KFC and McDonald's,
Subway.
and Greg's and Subway.
They've all got vegan stuff now, so
But it's still not healthy.
it's that's the
What do you
problem.
mean? Still, it wasn't healthy before.
Well, because if you eat vegan and you eat like a proper vegan and you just eat rabbit food, which is lettuce and sweet corn and carrots and shit, you will lose weight. There's no denying that. But here's my diet: crisps, chips, now Subway, KFC, McDonald's,
Burgers,
Nothing's changed.
pizza.
My diet's the exact fucking same, and it wasn't good to begin with.
lacks any
My point
animal
about what
products.
Gavin said though was that you were like McDonald's, Subway, Greg's, and Gavin was like, yeah, and they're still unhealthy. Like they were making fucking
No, but I mean,
quinoa
like a
salads
big-
before.
I meant like a Big Mac's
I meant
good for you.
vegan food used to be healthy.
Yeah, no,
And now-
I get what you mean. I get what
I
you
know
mean.
the big corporations have come in and they're just like,
That's the only reason I hate veganuary. That's the only reason because it is making me
are the
fat.
Greg's steak bakes sticking around? Is that just a veganuary
They
thing?
probably stick around.
Also,
Same
every
with the
time I
sausage
see
roll.
veganuary, it sounds like I'm saying some sort of racial slur. It just sounds like
Veganuary.
so you can't say that anymore.
Film number, what are we on? Five. The Farewell.
I expected this to appear.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about this because this is in our best of the day.
Yeah, I think we
best of
talked
the
about it
year.
in 2 different episodes.
And the only thing I'll say is it's phenomenal. Again, if this is the first episode you've listened to of the Meandering Movie Podcast, go back and listen to me gush about it in 2 other episodes.
in episode 52 of season 1
2019 roundup.
of Meandering Movie Podcast.
I think it's the most recent film I've got on the list, and it's just phenomenal. It's heart touching. It made me cry a bunch.
Yeah, the thing I loved was how it just gave me an insight into an aspect of our culture that I just wasn't aware of.
Well, that's it. Like,
It's
absolutely.
both emotionally, like, it'll grip you and crush you, and at the same time, it will inform you and make you want to research and look further into these kind of aspects of Chinese culture that you're just not aware of.
Yeah.
Also, stop killing kids, China. Not good.
We will be having a big talk with Gav about his political statements. Big talk.
I mean, I think the good news is that you and I can't be conscripted into the army for World War III.
Can we not?
We're too old at this point.
Are we?
Yeah, I think we're too old.
Oh, sweet. I mean, I was going to have to be a conscientious
Objector.
Objector.
You're going to
anyway.
be, what's his name? Andrew Garfield in, what's that Mel Gibson?
Hossack Ridge.
Wait, are you going to?
Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge, that's it.
Axel
What
Ridge.
did you say?
Hossack Ridge.
Hossack.
Warsack Ridge.
Guys,
Hossack
we got
Ridge.
to take down Hossack Ridge. it's in the north of England.
Yeah, I was going to have to do it anyway. Fucking what the fuck is Trump doing?
You're a vegan.
Yeah.
You're definitely not going to get put in the army.
Yeah, they don't have like vegan
Rations.
ration packs. It's fucking beans with little sausages in it. And cottage pie.
The next film on my list. So this is another sci-fi. I'm gonna I love this film. I think I've talked about it much. I've made other people watch it plenty of times, and it always holds up, and it's always just the same reaction from every single person. Ex Machina.
Yeah. Ex Machina's a shout.
What a movie!
Absolutely.
What a movie!
I went back and rewatched it last year. Was probably
Because
the
it's
most
on
recent time.
Netflix.
It is
isn't
on
it?
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah,
And fuck, that movie holds up.
it's so good.
Like, I
And
remember,
it's still good.
yeah, the first time I watched it, I was like blown the fuck away. Like, who the fuck is this? Oh, Andrew.
Is he gonna need his phone? Keep talking; he'll come back to you.
Yeah, I'll keep that.
Who is the director?
Who is
How
this?
dare he?
Alex Garland. God, I'm so fucking
he's
good.
He's so good.
It's so good.
Oh,
Yeah, who is this man? Like, I'd known him as a writer, but I'd like, fuck, he's directing. And then he gets what I might say is Oscar Isaac's best performance.
Well, you asked me
ever.
a while ago, name something Oscar Isaac did that was good since Ex Machina, and I think you're right, but I think it's a shame
Maybe
for Oscar
Inside
Isaac
Llewellyn Davis, like,
because
he's really
Ex
good in that.
Machina was just such a blowout performance.
Yeah.
Like, he fucking nails that slightly unhinged, alcoholic genius.
And you still want to be his friend for some
Right?
reason.
He's so fucking good. And then you get Domhnall Gleeson doing the kind of meek. You know what I mean? Like, everything about that film is fucking incredible.
And
so good.
It's Alicia Vikander's first kind of like big Hollywood
role.
role. She crushes it, and it's just like, again, like
It's super simple as well.
It's- yes.
For what's technically a sci-fi film.
Yeah.
The sci-fi aspects of it are very, very minimal.
Yeah, totally.
I remember
like-
the aspect that really brought me around to that being a great sci-fi is the first time he meets Eva, and then he comes out and Oscar Isaac's like, so what do you think? And instead of it being like them in some big fancy like technical room and there's computers and they're like sitting there and they're having this gobbledygook chat, it's like there's two guys in the kitchen drinking beers, just being like, so what did you think about this situation? And then just having normal human level chat while drinking some beers. I'm like,
it's
this is sci-fi.
You're
Like,
bang on, man. The fact it's a sci-fi movie, but it just brings it down to such a kind of almost what's the word, like
It's like modern
I think
sci-fi.
a level that we can. I could be like,
it's
that could be
understandable,
me.
relatable. Yeah.
Relatable. That's it.
We've
Like,
been at like. And we obviously don't live in these nice cabin in the woods still,
It's true.
like millennial architecture buildings. But like you can immerse yourself in the situation really easily.
Yeah.
Like it's not unimaginable sci-fi. Like you can imagine that some fucking mental Steve Jobs, loads of money type
Esque
character
guy is
has
doing that.
lost his mind, gone into the woods, and built an AI with a beautiful human face.
a very beautiful human face.
Like you can, that's not super hard to grasp. So I think the aspect that you can really immerse yourself in the film and in the situations while it's still being a really tight sci-fi film is really great.
Also, just the way that plot escalates.
It's perfect
Because you think it's going to go the one way,
Paced so
and it
well.
doesn't go the way you think it's. And then the
Yeah,
way
absolutely.
how it ends is so dark, but also so
And-
like hopeful as well. It's
And
like,
you can't imagine it ending really another way.
Yeah,
No, not
100%.
at all. And it's my favorite scene, and I've definitely talked about this on Mike.
Is Oscar Isaac dancing?
When Domhnall Gleeson is falling down the rabbit hole, and he walks in, and Oscar Isaac starts dancing with the other AI
Yeah.
robot, and it's such a perfectly placed moment of Domhnall Gleeson being like, "What the fuck
Is going
on?"
Yeah.
While this is happening in front of him, and Oscar Isaacs is just staring him down in a perfectly choreographed dance
Disco
sequence.
dance.
It's great.
And because when you get a glimpse into his life as
Yeah.
well before he goes, and it's
Yeah.
like it's a competition that he wins.
He wins
It's
the
mad.
he wins
Yeah,
some
like
sort of
it's-
competition,
But it's all rigged. It's
it's
that's-
super rigged and
sorry,
like
that's maybe the only spoiler. Sorry, I didn't mean to do
Yeah.
it. No.
Bruce Willis is a ghost, guys.
But yeah, Ex Machina is phenomenal. It
Looks great as well. Just
Looks
like,
phenomenal.
Like
Brad Pitt's not real the whole time.
so that's Ex Machina. After that,
Kevin
I'd
Spacey's
say-
Kaiser Soze and a paedophile.
allegedly.
After
No, he
that-
is Kaiser Soze.
I think I said like top 4 or 5. I actually think the top 6 here are just films I'm now, and that's including Ex Machina there. So Ex Machina from here on are my. If you are going to ever watch any films your entire life that you hear a recommendation of me, these are the 6, right? So Ex Machina, Ghost Story.
I knew it was going to be coming.
Man,
I knew it was coming from
You've seen
one
that
of
story
you.
as well?
Yeah, and the last, both Ex Machina and Ghost Story are on my list.
Are they? Holla! Air high five me.
Let's make sure keep it so far. None of your films have been on my list. And then,
Well, Ghost Story, what can you say? It's just great. It's so unexpectedly powerful on like level after level. From the opening sequence where, because it's called Ghost Story, you kind of get the gist that someone's going to die, and it happens. And then when it does happen, and you're watching it, and that haunting scene where he's just sits up on the table with the sheet over him, and it's like, what the fuck am I about to watch? And then time starts getting weird, and he's back home, and then Rooney Mara. And I've said it, Rooney Mara eats a pie for fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that is one of the most incredible scenes of any film I think I have ever watched in my entire life.
So, I don't know what it is. Like it's
a woman eating a pie.
Part of this in your head, you're going, this is so wank. Why are they doing this? The other part is going, I can't stop watching Rooney Mara eat this pie.
Right.
And like, at no point are you going, I'm bored of Rooney Mara eating a pie. That you're not.
Amazing.
It's so tight. And like, the fact that like, there's so many things about it. It's like where she's sitting and things, and he's in the shot as well.
Yeah, he's in the background.
corner. But it maybe took me 2.5 minutes of her eating the pie to even notice that he was there.
Yeah,
it's so good.
You're captivated by a woman eating a pie because she's distraught. Like watching somebody just deal with her own grief, and it's oh my god. And
I also was sitting in my head going, I hope this was one take, so Rooney Mara didn't have to eat like 12 pies before they got the shot.
And that is the tip of the iceberg of what then goes on to become one of the most powerful films about love, loss, relationships,
life.
Like, yeah, it transcends everything and becomes about just life. Yeah, it's fucking
even
mad.
like the time he spends with the Hispanic family that come and stay in the house as well.
And then the hipster douche party that moves in, and then he's in the room listening to that guy talk about legacies, and it's like, oh, it's just fucking great.
Even pre-death as well. Like, I don't think it's a spoiler saying that someone dies. The film is about a ghost.
A ghost
story. Music as well is so good.
Yeah, the music is great. But even like all the stuff pre-death, when it's like Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara in the house together and stuff, and
there's the scene where they're cuddling, which it's not quite as long as the pie scene, I'm sure. It's like
it's the
3
scene,
minutes, but it's still just 3 minutes of them.
Well, it's the scene
holding one another.
It's the scene that transcends into the close to the end scene where he's in the living room and he knocks the thing over. He sits on the piano, or he knocks the piano.
I know what you mean.
And then, but you see that in original time at the start when they come into the living room in the middle of the night, they check what's going on, and then they get back into bed and have this really nice. It's just a really nice tender moment, like it's a couple in bed, but it's not in any way. Like there's a tension there, but it's not in any way sexual. It's just nice, really adoring scene between them.
Yeah,
and it's all shot on round edge square format, which helps as well.
It's
didn't super nice.
I'm not Gavin, so I kind of sat through the film. I say it nicely. I kind of sat through it and I was like, I don't really understand why they've done this at the beginning. And then the further the film goes on, I'm just like, it couldn't be widescreen format. It has, the film has to be like this because it makes it just feel even more intimate and even more like homely.
It's like watching it on like a TV in the 80s.
No, absolutely.
The thing with Ghost Story and the pie eating scene and just the whole film itself is at some points when I was watching it, it felt like a trick, like he was fucking with me. Because when I'm watching that pie scene initially, I was like, okay, right, cool, I see what we're doing here. Like, we're just being with someone while they try and deal with it.
Process.
And then the pie scene keeps going. I'm going like, hold on a sec. This pie scene's still going. What's going on here? But then the pie...
something insidious.
And then the pie scene goes on further and I went, okay, now I'm back to where we were before, but with more understanding of what you're doing. Plus, I'm seeing Casey Affleck over there in the corner. And then the film keeps going, and then the way it ends, I left the cinema and I just walked outside. I found a bench and I just sat down for a while and just watched the world go by. And I was just like, that's a piece of cinema right there.
Yeah.
See, the communication between ghosts as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
That bit is super.
It's just
insane. Like,
it's also eerie at points as well.
Yeah.
Like it's
like really well eerie though.
And I'm pretty sure the subtitles for the ghosts are like bold letter yellow subtitles. They just
almost doesn't fit
at all.
Yeah.
I just remember like it's that scene where like he's in the window and he sees another one in the
other house,
and they
just
just like single hand wave,
and
at
it's just
each other.
like it's uncomfortable, but also kind of like nice. Cause
like, that's the bit that's so fucking scary because then the house gets knocked down
and she's
like, I was waiting for someone and I don't think they're coming, and then she just goes.
Oh.
But that's the first bit.
Goosebumps, guys.
But that's like the first bit of, oh yeah, P.S. we're spoiling fuck out this film. That's the first bit where you're like, there's almost hope for Casey Affleck or the ghost. You know, like you can be at peace, you can leave. You know, and it takes the remainder of I think probably another hour of the film for him to find that.
Yeah,
but yeah, you have to. That's the first bit. It's like we know what he's after now. We know
it's just monumentally brilliant.
Do you want to keep wanking each other off about Ghost Story? Should we go on to film?
Let's go.
Next one.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
It's a great film.
It's so good.
You are right though. It's one of these ones I feel like I want to shit on anyone's choice of film because these are like 10 most favorite movies of 10 whole years.
Yeah.
And it feels like, yeah, Gav, you fucking big wank. I'm going to feel like such a jag off. So I'm like, I appreciate it. I won't be a dick to any of you guys unless yours are horrendously wanky.
Well, I'll have to just wait and see what way.
Number 3, I'm going to go with, and again, no particular order. This Arrival.
Okay. Is that on your list?
No.
Okay.
No, so that was Amy Adams. That was Jeremy Renner who directed it.
Denis Villeneuve.
How did you know that?
I'm pretty sure he just didn't and made a noise. What was he saying?
Denis Villeneuve.
All right.
He's one of
Dennis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been calling
French
him Dennis Villeneuve for fucking the entire time I've seen that name.
He's currently, I think they're in post-production now on the remake of Dune, which was originally the David Lynch film.
A remake of Doom.
Dune. Like as in
D-U-N-E,
science.
like the books.
Yeah, sorry. So Dune,
So,
yeah.
like, the cast for that film is fucking insane.
Sand, spice, tea.
Forrest Whitaker's also in Arrival. I'm sorry, my mind's just dancing around all of
Yeah,
these.
Arrival is, without spoiling much, it's aliens touch down on Earth and
Yes.
they start speaking in almost like a very visual
Kind of
language.
what do you call it? What was it the Egyptians used?
Hieroglyphics, yeah.
Something like that. Kind of like...
And they get in the world's best linguistics teacher and some other scientist. I can't remember what he does, physicist or something. And they just trying to crack the language. That's the basic premise of the entire film. And then 2 hours go by, and you fall in love with Amy Adams, you fall in love with Jeremy Renner, and this is one that I absolutely do not want to spoil, so I'm trying to just veer off anything. You get to the end of that movie, and you're just left like, holy fuck, that's heartbreaking and touching and lovely, considering there's giant squid monsters.
You're about to
blasting
be
ink.
very upset with what I'm about to say.
Oh no.
But stick with me.
It's like Phantom Thread.
The reason why Arrival is such a brilliant sci-fi movie is because it's like an episode of Star Trek.
There it is. It's got to be one every fucking episode.
Season 2, episode 1, baby.
If you mention Star Trek in my list, like I'm looking at my list. I don't know how you can mention Star Trek, but I know you'll be able to do it.
And I was like, I got 4, 5 sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
He's gonna try and slip something in.
But
Go
what
on,
you need to
go
understand
on.
is that is a wonderful compliment I've just given that
No,
film.
I'm sure
Because
it is.
Arrival is a sci-fi film that's about humanity and science, which is what Star Trek is all about. It's about people trying to communicate with one another. And it's so... What's happening? Fuck you, fella. Fuck you, audio boy. It's so brilliant, and it does have some action moments to it.
Yeah.
But it's just a film that's structured around the fear that people have about something that's different and something they don't understand, and just trying to understand it and communicate with it. And that film goes to a place where you're like, how are they going to pull this off? And it does it, and it's insane.
It's great.
And it's brilliant.
It does what sci-fi does best. The best sci-fi films are films that give you something which is so simple and can be an everyday issue, like learning a new language, and then just takes it to the most extreme version of that. You throw in an alien if you need to, or AI or something. But and Ex Machina, kind of going back a little bit. Ex Machina is about two people falling in love, and then kind of taking that to the very furthest point you can kind of take that. You know what I mean? It's all about trust, and this is just learning a language, but taking that. And it's when sci-fi is good, that is what it is. It's the most basic of concepts blown up into a kind of futuristic sci-fi. But yeah, I don't want to say much more about Arrival because I feel like that's one that you really need to watch without any spoilers.
I mean,
I'm actually ashamed to say Arrival is one I have started but never finished.
Really?
It's my dislike of both Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner.
I love both of them.
And it's one that lots of people have said to me, and it is on the list to go back to.
Yeah.
Like, just try and get over that because it is great, but I can tell you what happens in the first 5 minutes.
5 minutes isn't even enough.
I think it was maybe half an hour.
Okay.
Also, shout out to Denis Villeneuve, who so far has never made a bad movie.
Dennis Value.
Dennis
Villeneuve. What else has he done?
So he's done Prisoners, Sicario, Blade Runner, and Enemy, and Arrival.
Cool. That's a good list. Good
Yeah,
lineup.
that was good. I was like, surely he's going to say one bad film. Prisoners. When did Prisoners come out?
I was the same. I was waiting for one that I could rip
Prisoners
on,
came
but I
out
was like, no arguments.
2014, 13?
So yeah, number 2 on my list would be another sci-fi. It is Her.
Her. Oh, here we go.
Her was very, very close to being on my list.
Her is... I watched Her... I watched it when it came out, I think, and I didn't... Like, at this point, I didn't really know who Joaquin Phoenix was, And like Chris Pratt's in that movie, and Amy Adams, is all these people who are kind of at the beginning of their careers.
And Scarlett Johansson, of course.
Scarlett Johansson's voice.
My little brother said Johan Peonix. I was
Johan Penis.
fucking Peonix, and I was like, on yourself, boy, for having you had a go.
Yeah, you know,
Good
fair
for
play
you.
to him.
You've
Fair
given
play.
it a go.
You phonetically read that name. Well done.
Johan Phoenix.
And
Because, yeah, 'cause
hopefully,
it's not going to be like Jonathan. It's not going to be like Joawiquin.
yeah, but he's pretty young, and I'm like, he's like 11.
yeah.
I was
No,
like,
that's what I'm saying. He's made a good effort.
and it's like, and he's learned the big lesson in
got
life,
like a
which is
soft J.
very often don't phonetically read people's names because it's always wrong unless they're Scottish.
Also, to
Craig.
some of the people that I've read online, who says Joaquin Phoenix was born to play the Joker because the first part of his name kind of sounds like joke. I don't like you as a person, and I want you to get out of the world.
That's not anything.
Get out of the world. Just that's all I have to say about him.
Oh yeah, her is like I just said,
Directed by Spike Jonze.
Spike Jonze, and it's
Hunt for the World, not Hunt for the World.
it wasn't Hunt for the World of People.
No, what's the one where it's like the big animal teddy
Doesn't
bear
matter 'cause
things?
it's not on Gary's list.
It's true. Where the world things
World
are.
That was a heartbreaking movie.
Well, yeah. So is her in a way.
Yeah, and her does it again. Sci-fi at its core of just again a relationship but
And
a
super
relationship
simple
with-
sci-fi again.
very super, and it
Is
that
something
nice
like-
like what I said earlier. That nice
Yeah.
blend of it's not too far in the future. In fact, that one I
Yeah.
think's that one's super close.
Like
That one
now.
feels
Something like a city,
yeah.
but it's like an AI.
That one feels like 5 years in the future, maybe like 10
it's
years.
something we're not super far away from.
Yeah,
I mean.
and because of that, you watch it, and it's stunning as well, and it looks beautiful.
And made round about the time where we were starting to get things like Siri on our phones and like the first Amazon
Echo
things
stuff
were
like
coming
Yeah.
about, and that telling stuff to do stuff, and it does it.
Yeah.
Like that's what the whole thing's based
The-
on. Us very basically.
It's for me the whole film, yes, but I don't know why I just focus so much on the costume design and like
totally though.
like the set design and stuff.
Yep.
It's so different.
it almost looks
but
like an 80s commercial, like an American 80s commercial.
and like
It's a nice idea that that fashion's gone. It's done what fashion does, and it's cyclical, and it's kind of hit the the early
Yeah,
70s or late 70s, early 80s kind of blend.
yeah.
Because Joaquin Phoenix is wearing these really high waisted, like straight
Corduroy.
legged trousers, isn't he?
And he has that great kind of pinky maroon kind of shirt on.
He's got a mustache and the big
Yeah.
glasses as well. It
looks
it
like-
does look phenomenal.
And it looks like the guy from Three Men and a Little Lady who's not Ted Danson or the wee guy.
What a place for your mind to go.
Right, yeah.
Tom Selleck.
Spike Jonze, so that he could get a kind of futuristic looking city. He filmed in Chicago, Seoul, Tokyo, and I want to say Los Angeles. And he took
Okay.
the four cities and kind of blended them together through the edit to try and make the film. Take
Feel-
some of the most futuristic kind of cities we have
Yeah.
around the world, blend them together to make his.
That's cool.
So he would
I
film.
think there was loads of inspiration when they did the Black Mirror episode, the Face Dive one.
Yes.
With
Yeah.
the ratings app. That's like that kind of, you're not quite sure where it's set. That
Yeah,
really
yeah.
colourful kind of almost robotic kind of
Yeah,
people.
sterile as
Yeah,
well to
yeah.
a degree. But it's for anyone, we talked about set and design and characters and everything, but for anyone that doesn't know, the film is fundamentally a man who struggles to have relationships with humans. He just feels like he's on the outside looking in. And then
No, it's not my life story.
some Apple-esque conglomerate releases the latest update for your phone. It's called whatever it's called, Infinity.
That's
And
an odd name for it to have.
Oh, I know, whatever it is. And he downloads it. Everyone downloads it. It becomes the new software to buy. And it turns out that this software is self-learning, and it all becomes sentient very, very quickly. And then it's just his relationship with a disembodied and it's like it's so interesting because it's a pure love because there's no physicality to it.
Yeah.
It's just falling in love. It's watching.
But then there's
And the
part
stories
where
of
it
people
tries-
falling in love.
when they begin to introduce physicality and how that might work and stuff, and it's so weird, but like I don't know, it's not something you can understand it, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't make sense to you.
It's a great movie. It is a great movie start to finish, and it's
And-
got some stellar performances in it.
Joaquin Phoenix, like the scene where he's sitting on the stairs to like towards the subway,
Man,
and he's like, "How many other people are you talking to?" And he's like, "Oh, maybe like."
354.
I was sat there in the cinema, just bawling like a baby. I was like, "Fucking!" Like I'm upset about a relationship between
A man and
a disembodied AI, and like it's insane that it can pull you into that. Like,
and what I love about that though is you're very much like, oh, Joaquin Phoenix, my heart goes out. But they present the AI, they present Scarlett Johansson's AI being like, no, it's what I don't understand what your issue is here. Like you're not understanding. Like you're the one that's not understanding how I feel. Like you're the one being a dickhead, and you'll still go and you kind of go, yeah, I get this on both sides.
She's an evolved species almost. She's like, well, this is how I approach love. This is how love works for me. Your love is antiquated to me. I can't do it that way. And he's just like, but I'm in love.
But it's the way I love.
And it's insane. It's just like,
it's the most heartbreaking breakup where you don't see one person ever.
Also, Scarlett Johansson's voice. Yes.
Weirdest boner I have ever had.
Yes.
You know, you get it.
Yep.
Ryan gets it.
We all get it.
We all get it. Audio boy, do you get it? Nope, he doesn't get it.
And that brings me to my final film. One of the films I just love this movie. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I knew it was coming.
Fair.
I knew it was coming.
Man, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and it's up there. It's the one, I think the one kids film I was, not kids film, but it's the one
animated film.
I had a couple that were all in my, like, which one do I want to talk about? And I think like there was what we had, like Inside Out, we had Toy Story 3 and 4, Incredibles 2. We had so many
Kumiko,
Wreck-It Ralph,
Zootopia,
Kubo and the Two Strings.
Kubo, Zootopia, and they're all like, when I was like going through, because I wanted to put like at least one animated movie in there, and I was going through all of them, and I was like, it's the first time that I've kind of thought about it and thought, you know what, Gav's not 100% wrong. I love all of those films, and I thoroughly enjoy all of them, but picking Toy Story 3 over Toy Story 4 or Incredibles 2 over Toy Story 4 just almost feels arbitrary, because they're all just doing the same.
Yes.
You're going to raise you up, we're going to knock you down, we're going to bring you back, and then we're going to make you cry for the ending, send you off, bang, there's a film in the bank. And then I remembered Spider-Man. Well, I didn't remember. It was the first one I thought of. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I just thought, that film is almost perfect for me. I fucking love that movie, start to finish.
It's so good.
It's so fucking good.
It is fucking brilliant.
It's a Spider-Man movie, and he's my favorite. So it's like, it was already going to be a soft spot. But I kind of went into, I think this might have helped. I went into Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with not low expectations, but I was at least kind of like, oh, Sony have done a fucking animated Spider-Man. I've seen the character designs, and they look goofy as shit. So I wasn't buzzed, but I was like, I'm excited still. And then I went in and I sat through it, and I realized what I was watching wasn't a film for the Minions loving Marvel fans.
Oh,
it was
absolutely not.
It was its own movie that the people who wrote it were clearly like lovers of Spider-Man and lovers of the comics themselves, and understood like, we need to make a film that's going to stand by itself here. And they fucking smashed it. Like, just everything about that movie is
the movie hits
incredible.
Every mark you want it to hit, which is visually it's unmatched. It's unmatched.
Chromatic aberration,
right?
It's called.
It looks fucking great
so
as well.
good.
Pixar, get out of town. You're done. It's like, this is the way forward.
The fact that they used a very, very simple light technique to make everything look so rounded, so colourful. Like, they used the chromatic aberration to do things like the sort of, it was almost like the on-screen version of the kapow in a comic book and all that kind of stuff.
It's straight off the page of a comic book.
So good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then it's got music. The music is
fucking
big ups Post Malone.
Big ups Post Malone, 100%.
Great song.
And then the characters, like your main character of
Miles Morales.
has such a great.
Look at me helping you, and I'm not even looking at my phone.
Oh gosh, I don't know who Christopher Miller and
Peter Parker.
No, I'm talking about the guys who directed the movie.
All right.
Oh, that's on you.
Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Boom, audio boy went in with the assist. The arc of Miles Morales and the story of like with his uncle and with his dad.
The arc of Miles Morales, the arc of his uncle, the
Peter
arc
Parker.
of Kingpin, for fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
Yeah, the arc Kingpin was like...
Never thought I'd go into a film and come out being like, I kind of feel bad for Kingpin.
Yeah.
I think Daredevil season 1 put a lot on that. Like, because Kingpin's very much a tortured character in the Daredevil series. And I think they put a bit on that, because in the comics he's just like I got loads of money and I'm a big guy.
I'm just evil
He's
and
like-
I want more money.
Yeah.
Falcone in the Batman movies just like, I'm just a gangster guy who does gangster things. It's
I'd like to see Falcone throwing Batman through a wall.
It's true. But it's just,
It's got everything you want, and it looks stunning. The story's phenomenal.
it's
it sounds
so
phenomenal.
much fun.
And it's on multiple viewings and multiple watches, because this is, I think, it's one I've watched most recently because it only came out recently. I'm still in that kind of. I'm going to rewatch it this like the next month, I think. But there are so many little animation tricks that they've done as well, which I don't know if you guys know about. When Miles Morales is learning how to swing next to Peter Parker, they animated him at a quarter. They skipped a frame for Miles Morales so that he looks like he's stuttering, even though he's doing the exact same thing. But on screen, you're now watching Peter Parker swing gracefully, and Miles is like juddering through the air. And it's little things like that which are just so fucking incredibly well thought of.
It's like filmmaking that the general viewer who's not really who just wants to go and see a Spider-Man film, like they've done so many things that those people are just never going to know about.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm not sitting here going, I know all those things. That's not what I'm saying at all. Like,
because that's my role.
It's worth taking some time just to go and look into that, because they did so many little things, like and super simple things like that.
And what the great thing is like you can go and take the time to like look at like go to the behind the scenes or read stuff online, but also just face value the film. You can just see a group of people who cared and loved what they were doing and were excited about it and knew so much about Spider-Man and comic books. And it is, without a doubt, here comes one of Gavin's grandiose statements.
Here it comes.
If not one of the best comic book / superhero film ever made.
Man, I had 10 years worth of Marvel films to put on the list, and Spider-Man's the only one that...
And it came from Sony.
Yeah. And it came from
Venom.
Sony as well.
They gave us Venom and Spider-Man 3.
And Fantastic Four.
And Fantastic Four.
But yeah, and it's Spider-Man is just great. It is the one I wanted to put at number one, and I think that's... So you've got the first four, middle, they're just mixed up. Then I got 6 onwards, but Spider-Man, I think, is my all-time...
It's something special,
the last
that movie.
10 years, I think it's not overly thought-provoking. It's not... it's not like a ghost story.
But it still has like those emotionally charged moments.
Stuff. It's almost perfect film for me because it has all the emotional stuff I wanted, but it's also still just a fucking wild, adventurous romp with jokes.
John Mulaney is
Spider-Ham.
Peter Parker. And then Nicolas Cage is like this kind of
Spider-Man Noir.
It's just so good.
And it's just Spider-Gwen and everything. And to bring the whole Spider-Verse into a film in one movie, not with a build-up of 3 movies.
Not an Amazing Spider-Man 2. They're just a room of suits. And cool.
To just go, right, we're doing Spider-Verse, pow. And it all to work and all for it to make perfect sense. It is a masterpiece of a film.
And it came out at a time as well
where we had Aquaman and shit.
No, but it came out a lot with some big films.
Yeah.
But it came out strong viewings in the cinema. It was a big hitter.
Word of mouth really helped as well.
Yeah, and it wasn't ones that like kids were flocking to see super fast. Like it was sort of a wide range of audiences were really going to see that, and won some Oscars and things as well.
Best animated film, and it deserved it 100%. It was great, start to finish.
I just missed out on best soundtrack though because of the King of Hip Hop.
Yeah,
Kendrick Lamar.
Fucking Black Panther soundtrack's all right.
So class.
Yeah. But I didn't feel we deserved it, and then we got it, and I was like,
came out of left field.
Because here's the thing, I was gabbing about it, where this animated Spider-Man movie comes out, and everyone's just like, it's the best fucking movie ever made, and I'm like, okay.
Did you have to eat humble pie?
Yeah, but have you seen El Bread Noir?
I Lost My Body. It's on Netflix right now.
It's made on
that could easily be a film. I lost.
It's on. It is. Is it? It's about a hand, and it loses a body, and the hand tries to get back.
The monsters.
No, you're thinking of the Addams Family.
The Addams Family.
Oh, you're fucking everything up right now.
I'm slipping now.
Should we wrap my episode, guys? Because I feel like we've just. Do you want to just go wank each other off mic? Because
I'll use my flashlight.
Why should we do it
off mic?
I'm feeling lovely. Guys, thank you so much for listening. That is my best films of the last 10 years, from 2000 all the way up to 2019. We've got a whole year ahead of us where we're going to talk about more movies that are coming out. The next 2 weeks, you're going to hear from Skittles first.
Whoop, whoop.
Then we're going to get Gavin.
Yo.
Finishing us up. We are still looking. There's still time. If you want to send us, we're going to do a viewer episode if we can get a couple of episodes, a couple of emails through. If you would like to send us your 3 best movies and your 1 worst film of the year, please do. We're going to do a whole viewer episode if we get emails through. I think at the moment we've got 1.
Couple.
So send it through. We'll talk about yours, and you can hear us either piss all over your favorite films or be nice to them
and celebrate them.
As long as you have good taste in movies.
And we also are setting aside 1 entire episode for whatever it is that you want. And if we can't fill that episode with your emails, we're going to make Audio Boy do an entire episode of just him talking when we're not here.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
And he looks so sad about that. So if you want to help out sad little Audio Boy, you got to get your emails in right
No,
now.
I think if we actually want people to send emails in. If they know they just get a whole episode of Audio Boy, they won't send ones in.
true.
He
So
is
what
so Magnolia.
No,
You do not want it.
We'll just say the punishment is if you don't send an email, we'll just do a whole episode of just me. Nobody
Ooh.
wants that.
So
So
guys,
send in your
send in
fucking
My phone
emails.
is buzzing.
Oh my god! But there's too many emails, guys.
I'm kidding.
Gav,
on.
where-
If you don't send us your email, then we'll do a whole episode of us just torturing Phil.
Okay, we'll do that. Yeah.
Like really horrible shit.
Gav, where can people send their best films of the year?
So
to?
you can jump over to our Twitter, send us a wee DM or just a message. That's at Meandering Pod. If you search on Facebook or Instagram, Meandering Movie Podcast, you can. There's an email button there. There's DMs. You can do all of it. Our email is meanderingmoviepodcast@gmail.com. If you're on an iPod or you're on Spotify, you look down the description, you'll find links for all of those things.
On an iPod, Grandad.
If you're on an iPod,
use that old circle thumbpad.
the last
Scroll
thing,
down.
Little-
fill time, because I need to give a shout out to someone. So used to just fill time.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant.
I thought you were talking-
I thought you were saying like Audio Boy.
I thought we
time.
changed Audio Boy's second name.
Fill time.
Phil Time.
Yeah. So yeah, so I had what, 2 films we shared.
We
two?
shared 2 films, so
I'm
the
surprised
first two-
Spider-Man wasn't on there for you.
First 2 films in my episode.
You might as well get them out of the way.
Boom.
Sorry about that. But
Sorry, man.
It's good.
It was a solid list. I'm very happy with the
We
list.
did argue about who was going first, and if I had gone first, then it would be.
it would have been the
vice
other way
versa.
around.
So, you know,
Exactly.
It was the penance for you going first.
And I impressed you, Gav.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
Oh wow,
It came
that's
out-
fucking high praise.
Yeah, because I'm a dick. We've been over this. Last shout out is just going to be to friend of the show, Andrew. He's got an Instagram called AGM_edits. He does some really brilliant little movie edits of like something like John Wick or Star Wars movies and stuff like that, or like Drive, which he loves. So he's got some cool little clips over there that he does on Instagram. So go give him a follow and show him some love. He's going to be in the podcast soon.
And what was that?
AGM_edits.
Alpha Gary Microwave.
No, J for joke. Alpha joke Mary.
We obviously do not know the phonetic alphabet.
AJM_edits.
AJM.
Give him a follow.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode, and we'll find out some more of our favorite films of the decade.
Music is life.
It's Meandering Movies, listening to Gary, Ryan, and Gavin. It's all about films, but goes off course. Will there be arguments? Of course, 'cause everyone knows their lives are dull and they have nothing else to talk about.